I have always been part of the community through church, youth groups, and so because I come from a whānau where we work as a collective, which is why I am of Pacifica descent, and we are whānau centric. Our people go in and they get voted in to go onto these tables. They're not fully equipped to be able to challenge some of the questions or challenge some of the decisions, and it could be because they need more education around it, around how the process works for them.
Kia ora whānau, welcome back with another podcast here today. I'm having a special guest here in the studio, so we'll have a kōrero together. So Naomi, how are you?
Kia ora. I'm great, Gordon.
Thank you so much for coming today. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you, Naomi, for many reasons. First, I've been knowing you in this year or something now, or 2 years maybe, from the different meetings that we've been pulling here. But I had the chance to sit a little bit with you and also see your mahi. I'm very inspired with that.
Thank you.
So I want to start the conversation for the audience who are watching and listening. I always ask this question to the guest. If I give you the mic, how you would love to introduce yourself?
All right. So, kia ora, talofa lava. Ko Naomi toku ingoa. Born and bred in Porirua.
Right.
And I'm excited to have this kōrero with you. Yeah. Thank you,
Amazing.
Gordon. Yeah.
So you're born and bred in Porirua. So tell us how the Porirua changed.
Porirua has changed so much. I am from the east side of Porirua. I was raised in Cannons Creek. And there weren't that many cars back in the days. I went to the primary school there. I went to Glenview. I went to Brandon Intermediate, and then later on I went to college at Wellington Girls College, and there were not very many brown faces at the Girls College, because the Girls College is right next to Parliament. It's in Molesworth Street. And did some extra studies after that, and then just kept working. And since we're the capital, Wellington is the capital, and it's the capital of public sectors, I've spent majority of my life training and working through the public sectors. So I know how machinery of government works. And then I have my own outside community work. We have a Cycle Safe community group. I used to be on the board of the Porirua Multicultural Council. That's how I met you, Condrian.
Right, yes.
And also I'm on the board of Marae. So we look after our community, and our community is quite diverse.
Yeah. So this is really great wisdom, when you live in a city and see the changes, and plus you see someone like you who've been in these different boroughs trying to support the newcomers, the new communities, new cultures. So you say your school was next to Parliament. Is that the way you get into leadership? What made you to get into
No, it just happened, eh? I just think, all those mornings catching the train, early train to get to school and back, and then I was very privileged to go to an all-girls school. And I was very privileged for not only being a small representative of Māori and Pacifica in that school, but it gave us some independence and resilience, and learning new things and meeting new people and learning different cultures. Because coming from a low socio-economic demographic from Cannons Creek, from the east side, and then moving into a college in an affluent area. So when I say I became resilient, it was all about learning and changing and seeing what other people's perspectives were, because you'll have the students who are in our colleges who come from affluent whānau, and then you'll have someone like me that comes from a low socioeconomic background trying to not fit in, but learn to get along. And also open our eyes to better school curriculum. And there, so we had the privilege of getting subjects that we wouldn't get if we went to a college out in Porirua.
Right.
But we got it in Wellington. So I was really, thanks Mum and Dad for the privilege for that, yeah.
Right. So Naomi, from the experience what you had in the public sector, then you turned back into community.
Yes.
So what made you to make that decision, coming back to serve or help the community?
I have always been part of the community through church, youth groups, and so because I come from a whānau where we work as a collective, which is why I am of Pacifica descent, and we are whānau centric. Everyone works together for the betterment of each other, for our whānau. And it is the same with Māori. It is the same with other ethnic communities where we look after our families for the betterment and the empowerment in Manaaki. So I've always been in that area with our community outside of work. When I came into the public sector, because, you know, it was the capital and we knew we were going to work there, trying to connect them together was pretty tough when you're a young person, listening to what the directions are, what the ministers wanted, what was our area we had to focus on. And then what I wanted to do was actually make sure that the people in our community didn't miss out on what other public sectors can provide them for example, like funding.
Yeah.
If community groups needed funding, we can go through these channels through other public sectors. And other things is around health and housing, which is all, you know, part of the public sector. We know that a lot of families, today we have a lot of more homeless whānau. And when I say homeless whānau, we all know the homeless are in emergency management, emergency housing, which is the homeless people with nowhere to go. We see families in their cars sleeping in there, or you'll see a family of 10 or 12 in one house. So you'll have a small house, a 3-bedroom house, and you've got a whānau in there, and then you've got a whānau in probably their garage or their shed. So because I think, and because I was brought up in church as a foundation, the way I think and the way I want to make it work for the community and for where I was working in the public sector, so that I can be able to assist and let them, and also in translation, interpretation, in translation, especially if our whānau, English is their second language, where I had the opportunity, because I am bilingual, and I can speak their language and be able to support them.
Wow.
So I learned a lot from working in the public sector.
And how amazing is that? You know, so you get to, someone like you get into how the governments work, how those agencies, then you be the connector between community and the government, so to provide better services, better needs understanding. Wow, this is amazing.
I had an opportunity in the early 90s, so I'm not going to say how old I am, in the early 90s, and I worked for United Nations in Samoa. So I spent at least 2 years in Samoa working for United Nations, and then just seeing the work that they do for our communities that need some stability around around what we can provide them, natural resources, all of that. So that was a lot that I had taken on as well. And then we moved into an organisation called SPREP, which is the South Pacific Regional Environment Program. And that was all to do with the climate, with the, I'm trying to think of the word, around all the Pacific nations, of how we can use the natural resources or restore the natural resources. So,
Wow.
So it's been I think I've always been that person to work in the community. I've always been that person to have that servant leadership.
So then when it's come to decision making, now when you jump in public sector community, it's kind of big decision, big shifts, right?
Massive.
How you deal with that? Let's say if someone is listening who are young people, they want to
Young
make
ones.
decisions.
To be on that table, to make the decisions on that table, is the voice.
The voice.
Is the voice of our people, the Rangatahi. I mean, for me, the Rangatahi are our future leaders. What's happening in today's climate would be a great example of making sure that our rangatahi's voices are always heard. So our rangatahi needs to get to those decision tables. For example, we spoke about the local council.
Yeah.
We need more young ones to be on the council tables. We've got our rangatahi that are now MPs. You've got one in Te Pati Māori and one in Greens, and they're amazing. So they are our future.
Right.
And for them to have great mentors around them, to support them, to manaaki them, so that they would understand how the process works to get to that table. Because sometimes when people, so we'll use the local council for example, sometimes when our people go in and they get voted in to go onto these tables, they're not fully equipped to be able to challenge some of the questions or challenge some of the decisions. And it could be because they need more education around it, around how the process works for them.
Yeah.
And they need great mentors. They need like-minded leaders to surround them, to manaaki them, because that way we can hear what they need and also they make those decisions on the table.
Yeah.
Not us old people, but it's the young ones we need to support, to manaaki in there.
All right. So this is very good, and you can see that from your journey and how need is now needed for the young people, because we are living in a time things is changing fast, right? And also making decision for the next generation, which is why we don't have these people who are the future of today and tomorrow. Which also there will be space for all, right? We need the wisdom of the past to go in the future. So talking about this subject of where you brought the local council things, and how are you seeing, let's say, talking about Porirua, how are you seeing our city change over the years, plus into leadership space, which is now there is a new community like former refugees, migrants coming in. How are you seeing that will play a role in the future of the city? Like, if I bring it more like, because you're born and bred from Porirua, and then now you see there's new cultures coming. How you see that we can look after this so we can also have the vibe, the fabric of Porirua, plus to, let's say, those who become a part of a whānau now, how we'll look after them, their voice could be heard. If you have any wisdom to share with us today.
I mean, born and bred in the creek, on the east side, and it's always been the low social economic side of Porirua, because then you'll get the west side, you'll get the north side, which is more affluent areas. The west side, you have Ngāti Toa, the iwi there, they're our mana whenua people on that side, and then what you'll notice on the east side is a lot of migrants on the east side, a lot of our Pacifica people on the east side, and also, the gang members out that way too.
There is a lot in that area.
So the whero whānau, I'll talk about the whero whānau. It has grown, because right now we're sitting on just over 60,000 people living in Porirua. 60,000 people living in Porirua. Wow. Back in my days, we probably had 30 or 20, but it's 60, and it's probably more now because I haven't seen the latest stats.
That's right,
if you see that we have you ever been to the markets up in Waitangiroa? In the markets at Waitangiroa, it's colourful. You have every nation in there selling fruit, their produce, their clothes or things they want to market, and the food. The food. We have our Asian community, we have our Syrian communities that are out there doing their food,
businesses now
other
there.
ethnic groups, and that everyone gets along. Everyone gets along. And that's run by volunteers.
Yeah.
The volunteers are the ones that bring the people together on a Saturday so that they can make sure that, one, they can make some money for their whānau,
Yeah.
but two, everyone knows where they can go in a safe environment to do their shopping. And so when you say how Porirua has actually grown in our population, and right now we accept everyone for who they are. Because back in my days we didn't see many people from the Middle East.
Yeah.
We didn't see many people from other areas. It used to be more of the Chinese would be around us because they've been in New Zealand for a long time. But now we have the Indians have come on. The other Asian communities have come on. Like we're getting Filipinos now coming on, and they're amazing people.
Yeah,
I'm actually 14% Chinese. So
right.
I'm very proud of being another ethnicity. So what I've seen is that everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Everybody gets along out in Porirua. Even with our mana whenua, even with Ngāti Toa, everybody gets along.
Yeah.
There are some areas people won't be, but it's like, to me, it's a safe place. It's a safe place. But yeah.
I live there.
Yeah, you live there too,
that.
so you know, it's a safe place.
So people who don't know, I live in Porirua. I love that city. I love it. Like we live there. I do work my across Wellington region here and there, but I always love to go and out from the city so I can have to join my family there. And the good things, you have everything in Porirua as well.
You do.
Everything is just close by,
Yeah.
There's a lot
you
of people
the
come,
beaches,
and
you've got the Colonial
mountains.
Knob, the Rangatahi Hill.
Yeah.
And we've got,
Titahi
it's very
Bay
vibrant.
and around Whitby as well. There's beautiful areas, and the shopping is easy as well. There's a lot of big market there. We have a mall there. A lot of people come to there. So I see Porirua is really full of opportunities. It's full of great area, great people, very kind, very kind. So when my mom walk in, by herself, she love it. Because we know we are in a safe environment.
Safe environment.
And despite all the narrative, I know what is going on in the media thing, but believe it or not, this is 7 years for us. We've been there.
Yeah.
One day we didn't hear anything. It's our neighbor also. Like they are from everywhere, Even if I say that we have one neighbor is a gang member.
Yeah.
Never ever we have had anything. Just hike or it's just great neighborhood.
Yes.
So the question when I came here first, I was saying, they were talking about Porirua, but we didn't feel it. We feel the difference. We feel more safe there because of the people. When you go to Pakense and all these, everyone is happy. Everyone just smile, and they are humble people. That's the life when we look at. That's the thing. People turn up in pajama into shopping.
I think the negativity that the media puts on, and it's not just Porirua, it's other areas
places,
like Auckland or up in Gisborne or the North Island, and that there's always going to be negativity that the media will post, but that's just a little minute thing compared to how colourful and bright our community is, the kindness and compassion that the community have for each other. I think it's amazing.
And that's where we want to, because when voiceofaroha, we are like a community media, we want to hear that real voices. So when we bring role models like you who share us the journey of leadership and things, this is the people who born and birth in this city, Porirua. Yeah. And there's many like you there are doing great stuff in this region. So we need those voices to be highlighted more, because when those voices get heard, those journeys been learned, then the whole city
The whole city will pick up.
That's how we change narrative. Because,
Yeah, I know. We've got a few people on those tables at council that should really move on.
Right.
I mean, the first deputy mayor we ever had of Pacifica was Jasmine Underhill. And when we were in the creek, Jasmine Underhill was the first Pacifica Cook Island woman to be on the council as a deputy mayor of there. Wow. And then we had Litia Ahoy and the others. But what I'm looking for now is, we have a strong Pacifica population. We have a strong Māori population. What I want now is to bring up other ethnicities so they can make decisions on the table. And with those other people from other ethnic communities, the ones that have already set the bar can mentor them into those areas. Like, look at the schools that we have out in Porirua. We've got great leadership in Year 13 students that do a lot of volunteer work. We run a soup kitchen on a Monday. We get kids from Mana College. We get kids from all over the place that want to do better. And then I just want to see more diverse rangatahi in those spaces. Because once they're in those spaces, they'll just move. They'll just move.
Yeah, let's see the selection and how the things will go. There's a lot of great people who are standing and things. It's just great, because that's also require courage when you put yourself, I want to stand to serve the city. So now we're talking about all these people, and they now ask you a question back to you about leadership. A lot of people view the leadership in different way of perspective. If I put that for you, how you view leadership, what is it that meaning to you?
Leadership is a good question, but leadership to me, it's not a title. Leadership to me, because the way I lead is through servant leadership. It's not the person that says, you need to do this and this and this. Like Simon Sinek. Have you heard of Simon Sinek? What he says is, and which I resonate with really well, is that leadership is about being in charge of your team to look after them, so that you empower your team, because you can't do anything if you don't have a great team, right? We know that. Empower your team, make sure your team's okay, not just around their skill set, but also around their personal life. How is their whānau? Because it's extended. Because you can't pour out of an empty cup. We had this conversation. You cannot pour out of an empty cup to serve other vulnerable communities. That's our kaupapa. We've got to look after each other. So that's my style of leadership, is to look after my team, to be able to serve and look after others. Because that's my vision. Because I do it, and I wouldn't let my team do something that they don't want to do if I don't do it. The other thing too, if there was if my team had some issues or anything like that, and they needed some support, I'm right in there. And I'm the sort of leader that would roll my sleeves up and help prepare boxes or food parcels, or do deliveries, or pick up kai boxes or whānau or whatever. So that's the sort of leadership that I
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How great is that? We want to talk to us a little bit on the mahi, the great mahi that I had the chance to visit.
Yes. So our service is called Te Umuki Rangatahi, which is a name that was given to us by an amazing cultural advisor for Ngāti Toa. So I work for the Runanga. And so it was around the umu, which is the fire, which is the oven to cook. Rangituhi is actually the hill that we're based on, which is Colonial Knob. So we're sitting on, so that's why we call it Te Umuki Rangituhi. So we provide a service for our whānau, our vulnerable communities that need food parcels. I know we have Salvation Army, we have St. Vinny's, we have Wesley. And those organisations will have a food pantry or a food bank. But right now, food banks are suffering right now because the funding's been cut.
It is, a lot of them, yeah.
So some food banks will open probably twice a week or 3 times a week. But our food bank is called Pātaka Kai. We're open from Monday to Friday so that the whānau can be served and, make sure they got food on the table. So that's one part of our service. And then we have the social supermarket.
Yeah.
And the social supermarket is where the whānau can come in and do their shopping. Like, you've been inside, it's like a real social supermarket.
Yeah.
And they work on points.
Yeah.
And this one gives them more mana enhancing experience. It gives them more mana and dignity, whereas they can choose what they need to shop for. But a food parcel, they get given it. So that's like a handout. Whereas the shopping is a hand up. We're empowering the whānau to come and do their shopping in there. And so we've been running just over a year, and that's a partnership with Foodstuffs.
Right.
But our food bank has been running for about 3 years now, since COVID. It's been running for 3 years. And then we've got our food rescue, which is surplus kind that will come from like the farms or from the supermarkets and that we can distribute out. To our marais, our community organisations, and even our pantries. You know how you see in the neighbourhood pantries?
Yes.
So I think there's one in Elston. There's a couple out on the east side where my team will go and fill up those pantries. And a couple of times they've gone out there, the families are waiting for my team to put the kai in the pantry in the street, and they'll come with their bags. They'll come over and they'll open the pantry and they'll put the food and everything, and then they go home.
Yeah, wow.
So to me, my purpose is that I don't want anyone to go hungry. I don't want anyone to be whakamā. We don't judge anyone that needs that support. Because I think about that story, that scripture from Matthew about the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that story?
Of course.
And where Jesus had a miracle where there was 5,000 followers who wanted to listen to Jesus. And there was a young boy who only had a basket of his 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And his disciples or apostles were worried and they're thinking, how are we going to feed these followers?
That's right.
And then he took the boy's basket, prayed over it, there was a miracle, fed the 5,000 people. And to me, that's significant to the mahi that I do at Te Umaki Rangatahi. Because when the families walk in, they're already going through a hard time. They could be coming from a place of family harm, where they could be in safe houses. They could be coming from situations where, of course, high cost of living, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But the food will be able to be there for them to feed their tamarikis or feed their elders or whoever they're going to feed. At least that's there for them. So that's one stress away from what they're going through. So when they come through, I got to make sure, my team are great, to make sure that we show them some mana and respect as they walk in, and we let them come through and do their shopping. I've had a lot of families overwhelmed with tears because it's like they've been treated like human beings. They're not treated like a number when they go to MSD or anything like that. Oh, nah, you're in the queue, you're in the queue. They just come through. We treat them with respect. They do their shopping. And for me, that's my purpose, to serve. There's no judgment in that, as long as the whānau are being looked after. And then because I follow Jesus and his ways, but
No, wow, it's blessed, Mahi. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for all your team, volunteers, all of them. I had the pleasure to have the tour, and thank you and give me the tour and how this is done. I love it. How is the cool way, and I love the point system as well.
Yeah.
You know, all this is by the price. There's a points on the food. It's just a great. You can see you can like get that too. So yes, you feel the manner and things,
Yeah.
and how it's beautiful the purpose of this, because you know everything we want. People go through a lot of things in life.
That's right.
Food is the most
Yeah.
killer things. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just crazy when.
Because
when
it
you
brings
feel there's
people together.
Yeah, it
When we
brings
think
us
of
together.
family gatherings,
All
or
of this,
a
right?
tangi, a wedding,
Yeah.
you have a look at that spectrum of it.
Yeah.
And then when you've got like a lot of family in your house and you're trying to feed them,
That's right.
there is a service that will support them in
Yeah,
that area.
yeah.
And I've got a great team. I also, the other communities that come in to collect the food bank stuff, they're working hard with these families too. So you look at it in a more holistic approach, a wider thing. It's not just us providing the service. We're also serving the social workers, the navigators, the doctors, the nurses that are coming in to feed these people, the tenancy agencies coming in to feed these people, even the police, they come in, take this, they feed the people, because they all have a purpose is to serve too. So it's like that ripple effect. So the ripple effect starts from where we are, and it just carries on as long as we look after the people.
How amazing is that? Look, we're running out of time, but
okay,
I just love it because I want to keep doing this because it's beautiful. Can we maybe ask you a question if people, this is work as a referral, right? So if people like really need these services, who they go, which agencies like you guys work with?
So a lot of the service providers that come through us, so the runanga that I work for, we do housing, employment, training, and of course our practices, our medical centres like Oratoa, they come through there. And then we have our external providers like Wesley, Salvation Army, they, Te Ao Maneno Trust is another organisation, Porirua Multicultural Council, and Jacqueline that I spoke to you about.
With the partners,
she works with the ethnic communities, yet they come through. They all have a link to come through so they can serve the whānau who need the support. Yeah.
Amazing. This is great.
Thank you.
I've really been enjoying this, so I appreciate your kōrero, your wisdom, your leadership, and everything you're doing in our communities. It's been just a blessing. So to know you and also to witness the mahi that you're doing in our city and across as well, the impact here. I love this kōrero.
Yeah.
So what we have here, this is a tradition we've been doing in this season.
Yeah.
So we have here a question have been left to you from our previous guest.
Oh, okay.
So you will not know until you watch our YouTubes. That's why I'm not telling you who is it. But you will have opportunity to write the question for the next one. So
Could be an easy one, eh?
let's see. Let's see what they have left here.
All right.
Okay, here's the question here. If young people were running Aotearoa tomorrow, what one thing you think they would do better than the current leaders?
Just one. There's heaps now. The one thing I know that the rangatahi will do better than what we have today is that they have better vision. They're more educated. They can see the gaps. They can see the gaps easy. That'll be... That's how I know that they will be brilliant leaders for us. Times are changing, right? Everything's evolving. Climate, the world, and they will be great leaders. So Can I answer that?
Yeah, absolutely. Beautifully. Thank you so much, Naomi.
Thank you, Godrian.
Thank you. Great. So thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And thank you so much for tuning in. Ka kite. See you next time.
Ka kite.